Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Need for Speed Unbound for another car customization video. This time taking a look at one of the brand new vehicles for this Need for Speed title, the Lotus Emira. It's available for 106,000 from the dealership, which is why I'm here in single player, because I still have most of that million credits from completing the grand, so that's why I've bought it on single player, because I don't have all that much in multiplayer yet. But it begins at the bottom of A++ class, so, well, let's see what it drives like this, before having a quick look at some of the completely mad modifications that are available. So, here it is. Now, you may have spotted this Lotus actually in my review of the game video. I did buy it a little while ago, but I haven't touched it yet. It's completely stock. Do really, really like these. Not sure I'd go for the blue. I don't know. I think I'd probably go for the yellow. I think there's a red available as well, and a really dark British Racing green that you can barely tell is green. As you can see through the rear window, this one has the Lotus's own V6 rather than the Mercedes 4-cylinder, and I'm guessing, I mean we don't have interior view because it's Need for Speed, I'm guessing it's a 6-cylinder with the manual. I mean, what other spec would you have on your Lotus? Especially as the Mercedes engines are delaying builds of that version. So, if you ordered it with that engine, sorry. Anyway, yeah, it's not as fast, it doesn't feel as fast as you'd hope. I mean, that might just be Need for Speed being a bit sort of floaty and weird, but... And it's not slow, but it doesn't feel quite as fast as I would like. The only mod I have done to this is the mandatory Lotus number plate. But, yeah. I think it's probably about time we go and see what options are available for this thing. So, here we go. I'm going to show you the complete body kits first, because they're interesting, to say the least. I don't know why there's always a stock one first. But, well, this is the first option. Speed Hunter's kit. Kind of makes it almost look like an Avaya. I like how it's kind of still got that styling on it, though. But yeah, that tries to make it look like an Avaya. Not sure how good a job it's done of it. The tunnels are kind of too thin. Then there's that. With, well, that at the rear, which is... Not sure how I feel about the lights kind of disappearing under the wings. Yeah, there's that. There's that, which I think is rather impressive, actually. I mean, look at that wing! I kind of want that wing without ruining the rest of the car, because some of this I don't like that black bit at the front. And then, well, that, which is basically a bumper delete, and then these ridiculous flicks on the rear, which I actually think looks horrendous. But I think we're going to have to kind of mix and match, because I kind of want that wing, because it's incredible. But I kind of don't want... I also quite like the covered rear window. It's kind of classic Siege style. So yeah, as usual, I think I'm going to go for a bit of a mix match. More interesting. So, let's start. Headlights we'll come back to, because it depends on what colour we paint it. Well, it'll probably end up being yellow, so maybe we'll have yellow... I was hoping they were going to be taped headlights. Anyway, let's start with the hood. So, that's kind of cool. That I really don't like. What's the difference between that? Okay, that just raises those, which looks stupid. Yeah, I think we're going to go with the little central vent. I quite like that. Front bumper. One with a towing thing. Okay. One with a towing thing. Where was that? Towing thing. Ridiculous lights. Quite cool. Mad. Bumper delete. What? Okay, on some cars, bumper delete looks quite cool. On a modern car, it just literally looks like something's missing. Although it does mean they've had to model that entire front end, which is kind of cool to know that they've had to do that. And to know that that's what's behind the front of a Lotus. It's quite interesting. Anyway, I think... I do actually quite like that. Just because it's a bit mad. I mean, those would be deadly, those wipe out people's ankles, but yes. Let's go for that. It's Need for Speed. We need to be a bit mad. What was that? Oh, that's not even the splitter. Look, we can have a... Is it that then matches those? Oh my god. How many bits of aero do you want at the front? Yes! Okay, I think we've gone a bit too extreme here. I'm not sure I like it. Anyway, wing mirrors. And we've got cameras. Cameras are always a cool... Those are just ridiculous. Sure, why not? I actually really like the look of the Emira. I feel bad now. Anyway, side skirts. Got that sort of extends it. That does something. Oh, it's got to be that one, surely. Oh god, what have I done to this car? Is there a front fender? Oh, front fenders. Is that wide body? Is there a more subtle? What's that one like? No, they all chop out too far, I feel like. Maybe that one? Oh, no, not that one. That's the Lotus one. What was the one I saw that was that one? Makes those canards and front thing even bigger. They all look the same from the front, actually. It's about this cut-out bit at the back. Do we want that style? No, I don't like that style. I think I like that one because it's the simplest, although that's kind of... Yeah, I think we're going to have to go with that one. Which then means I need... It's the Criterion one, wasn't it? It was that one. Yes, because that's just stupid. Let's have a look. What does that do? Yeah, it literally just... Oh, actually, that's interesting. Losing the vent entirely on the side. It's kind of then just a too big an expanse of metal. Right, okay. I think we're going to have to go with that one. Wheels I don't think I'll actually do on this, because I quite like them. Tail lights I think we're just going to be able to tint. So go somewhere there, make them still almost legal. Right, wings. That's just stupid. That's the one I think I liked. Just because it's... Oh my god. That almost touch... I don't like that that almost touches the metal, but doesn't quite. Oh wow, there's that one as well. Do we go with... Is it that one? Just kind of more subtle, or... That's just ridiculous. I don't want one... I definitely want one that's mounted from the window. That one goes too close to the bodywork. It's just whether we want a mad one or a slightly less mad one. We're going to have to do that, I think. It's Need for Speed. It's the only opportunity we're going to have to do this to a Lotus. Obviously, in reality, you'd never do it. So, that I quite like, the, like, engine cover, but I don't like having that on my roof. It's the one that's... Oh, that just has, like, a smaller window. No, because then you can't see the thing that says Lotus V6. I kind of like that, but I don't want that. No, we're going to have to leave that standard, I think. Right, rear bumper. Oh my god. No. Stop. That's actually kind of cool. But then you lose those vents. No, I'm going to leave that as well. License plate, like I say, we already did. Oh, wow. Those are actually really cool. Although, purple ones. Yeah, they're kind of titanium-y ones. They're cool. But I do like how... Those aren't available on many things. I've not seen that before, so we're going to have to do it, I think. Diffuser. How mad do we want to be? I suppose very, so that it matches the rest. I mean, they all are anyway. That one's got like a stupid fog light thing. That I quite like how it's attached. But I also like that, although it kind of blocks the exhaust, which is a bit stupid. I think we're going to have to go with the one of many things. Right. I think, apart from the wheels, which I said I wasn't going to do, that's everything. I've already done the license plate, like I say, but if we repaint it, that might not be right. Oh, obviously it's already lowered, right? Excellent. So, yeah, I think we need to just decide on a colour and then fiddle about with things like wheels, brake calipers, and headlights, basically. But I actually don't mind that. I mean, it's ridiculous. I probably still prefer a standard one, but compared to what we could have done with it, if I show you again that, it's actually quite nice. Anyway, paint. So I would go for yellow, but I feel like as that's actually a manufacturer colour, I maybe don't want to. The manufacturer colour green is like, well, basically that dark, if not darker. No, it's darker. It's kind of like that. It basically looks black. Perfect, right. And then, if we've gone for that, hey? Why did it just... Okay, apparently that looks black once you go out of here, so let's try... Okay, if you go too dark on the slider, even if it looks coloured in there, it's then black when it comes out anyway. We've got a slightly brighter sort of bottle green, which I think actually looks better, if I'm being honest. Anyway. In which case... do we think of some yellow headlights? Can leave the yellow calipers, which is nice. We might want a yellow license plate, though. Ooh, or a green. Or just plain, which I end up putting on everything. Okay, and that's the visual customization finished, I think. So all I really need to do now is upgrade it to the top of S, I guess, and see how it performs. It's kind of a shame that the red accent on the exhaust isn't matching the calipers and stuff. Anyway. Green and yellow wave underglow. Yes, we need that. And air suspension, why not? We have far too much single-player money. Oh, hang on. You know what we need? You know what we need? If you haven't heard this yet, prepare. Yeah, if you're not putting this on all of your cars, I don't know what you're doing. Exhaust sound we'll leave alone, because that always just ruins it. Right. Anyway, upgrading. Not engine swapping, I'm just gonna... Actually, maybe we should max it. Sure, let's see what happens if I do that. Okay, it more than gets to S+, although I have spent that entire 400,000 or whatever I had left, so that's the end of modifying cars in single player, I think. So I'm not going to be saving any more money here. I need to go and do some online racing, basically, so we can get some more stuff. Anyway, what do I want on here? Grip and draft nitro. Okay. Let's go. It's so much faster. I mean, state the obvious, but it's incredible. It's like a supercar now. It's like an Avaya, but less electric. And with that wing, which is incredible. If you're a fan of how this thing was stock, I do apologise. I am too, but you have to be a bit mad in Need for Speed, and I actually think it still looks incredible. Especially in that green colour. So obviously if we had done this in online, we would be in a speed list which consists of 3 races, so we'd get to test it a bit more. This is just an individual race, so we're going to have to do at least one more, I think, after this. So good to finally have this in a proper full game rather than just on mobile games. This car, not that I've driven it in a... What are you doing? Not that I've driven it in a mobile game, but it's good to have it in a proper title is what I'm saying, because it means we actually get to drive it. Also, when are you adding this car? Okay, the drafting nitro is a good call. Oh, handling. I forgot to put it on grip handling. I'm an idiot. To be fair, it's gripping fairly well, but... I might have already done that if because I have driven this before I modified it. Oh. I'm so bad at driving on this game. Whoa. Oh. He dead. Come on, we've got to beat this Asp Pebble person. We absolutely have to. Done! Lotus! Ow! I don't think this has gone very well. Now I've been killed. Okay, turns out I didn't do that handling, so let's sort that out. Handling. Sensitivity down a bit. Downforce high. Traction we leave off. Turn that off. Let's try not to be killed in the race this time. Okay, so after spending on the mods for this car, and entering that previous race, which I earned nothing back from, I'm down to $300 in this game. Which doesn't matter, I'm never coming back to single player again, most likely, so... I just need to remember exactly what I've done to this car to replicate it in online, because for reasons they're completely separate and you have to do everything separately. But I kind of want to have this car in online. So, yeah, when I eventually afford one, and the same upgrades, which is probably about $500,000, if you include all of it, eventually I'll do that. So I am still yet to have a car in every category in online, so... One advantage of single player, though, is police! Oh. Wait, if they're police, does that make this a Lotus? Or if it's a Lotus, does that make them police? Anyway. The thing is, I kind of want yellow effects and boost on this car, but it applies to everything, so we've still got the purple. Yes, come on. I've got the draft nitro, so we should be able to... No, he also boosted! Okay, interesting. Let's see how it copes with the Police. Lotites versus Police. Don't tell me they've given up and lost me. They are only heat level 1. And as I proved and showed in my review of the game, you can escape them quite easily even in slowest unupgraded cars in this game.
Suspect got away from me, Control.
I did. Indeed. Okay then, one final race. I won't count that very first one because, well, the handling was on the wrong settings and it didn't end particularly well. But yeah, the last one we were second, so let's see if we can actually get a win. Goodbye, LaFerrari, we're in the lead. Trouble with these S Plus races is this is wobbling a lot. They all seem to be basically a very high-speed sprint down a motorway. Oh my. What just happened to... Oh, you...
Patrol here, we got this.
That was lucky. That slipstream generated nitro was a good perk to equip. Oh my. Turn! Whoa, 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 whoa. Handling, what did you just do? Really?
Patrol is joining the others in pursuit of the suspect.
No! Go away! I can't actually see.
So stupid.
Just. A green and yellow 1-2. Just got the LaFerrari. Just lost to him last time. Not bad though. And now we're in a police chase again. But we're still only heat level 1, so we should be able to escape very easily. Especially if we take a couple of them out, although my car is now on critical damage, almost. Okay, we're okay. But yeah, at least we've earned 32,000 back after having cleared the bank balance out entirely. I know we started at 500, so that's not great, but like I say, it's kind of irrelevant because I'm probably never going to return to single player. Now that the only reason I did now was because I had some money and I wanted to have a go with this car. So I can't really see any reason to come back to single player now. I love this car though. May not be the fastest thing in this game, but it's just so cool. Even if I have slightly ruined it. That, though, is going to be all for a very first look at the Lotus Emira here on Need for Speed Unbound. So thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next video very soon.